Okay, I think we're ready to do a Trump reading. I have been remiss. My last reading was to expire on August 24th, and time marches on as it it usually does. And so now we're into almost September, but it's still August 31st. So it's going to be one of my Trump readings for the next month, for the month of September. I'm getting close to the elections. I am shocked that he's still around. Oh my God, when is this going to end? So the election is not 6 more weeks, maybe. Well, it's going to be November, the beginning of November. So we have, let's see, 4 and 4, 9, probably 5, 9, and then maybe another one. So 10 more weeks. A lot can happen in 10 weeks. So we shall see what we shall see. Today, as usual, I'm using the Golden Tarot by Kat Black and also the Leonardo da Vinci Mini for clarification. It's been, I don't know, I don't even know what to ask. I sort of have stopped watching the news, to be frank. I was burning out on the news. I was watching too much news. So I stopped. I was also watching a lot of, other tarot readers. I enjoyed them. And I also kind of stopped doing that as well. I'm just kind of burned out. But it'll be sort of interesting. Now, maybe I'll have some fresh eyes or fresh thoughts about the situation. So this is still going to be about Trump. It's not about the election. This will be about Trump. I am deeply concerned about COVID in the winter. I mean, I think we'll get through it, but I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy. And it's going to be a long time to get out of it, I think, as far as all the ramifications of COVID. Lost jobs, lost wages, people getting sick, and all that. I have been reading a lot about the Spanish pandemic of 1919. It lasted around 3 years. And it said that it almost disappeared completely. It still shows up, but certainly not with the virulence that it had. But it ended abruptly after 3 years. This time I think we'll have a vaccine. I'm hoping we'll have a vaccine. So there's always that. Okay, so this is a Trump reading for September 2020, doing the horseshoe spread as usual. And let's lay the cards out and begin. And let's see how it looks in the viewfinder. That looks pretty good. Okay, so this is the spread I usually use, and it's the horseshoe spread. It's a nice little spread I have here. So this is the recent past, and this is Trump. This is his significator. Recent past, the 8 of Coins. That's fine-tuning a project, being hard at work. He is probably doing a lot now. He's probably busier now than he's been in a long time because he's out campaigning. He loves the campaign. He loves running for anything. So I think he's behind the scenes, talking to people, figuring out what he's going to do, how he's going to approach it. You can already see the what do you call it? The lines, his promotional, what he's going to say about everything. He's already stoking fear into the community and is saying there's going to be riots in every Democratic state and every Democratic municipality. He's got his bylines or the regular things he's going to keep going back to. And he's been busy doing that. And, people are on board with it. The Republican Party seems to be on board with it. So he's very busy, and he likes doing that. So I think he's probably kind of happy at this point because he's really busy with that. He doesn't have to deal with politics. He just has to deal with, about himself running for election, running for office. And he likes that, the showmanship of it. His current This was a recent past, and this is what he's doing currently. The King of Coins. Yeah, he's the master of his universe. He's the master of, everything around him. He is in charge, in control. He sees himself as this king of, of the United States, not the president of the United States. He sees himself as the king of the United States, which, yeah, it's not. He's not a king because this isn't a kingdom. It's a democracy. So, yeah, he sees himself as the king. He's probably quite happy with the way things are going. This is Hidden Influences. The Three of Wands. Now, that Three of Wands is interesting. It's always coming up, that Three of Wands, isn't it? This looking overseas for something, support, a way out. So here we have this hidden influences. He's getting influences. He's getting information. He's giving advice from people overseas. And, I think of Putin, China, other places that he's looking for advice. And he continues to get that advice. The obstacles for the next month. The Queen of Swords. Well, isn't that interesting? There's a woman here, analytical woman, who's going to be the thorn in his side. It's kind of interesting because Kamala Harris is now the VP selection. And she's the one that may be delivering the most blows to him. I don't think she has nothing to lose. And I think she will go after him. And she is a competitor. She's a tough lady. She's been through it all. She's been through a lot. And I think I would identify the Queen of Swords as Kamala Harris. That's just my intuitive sense. So that could be his what he's going to be dealing with. He's already, saying terrible things about her. She's an angry woman and all this nonsense. So I think she's an angry woman because we all are. Okay, so then we go into the community. And what's the community up to? Justice. Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah. The community is looking for justice. And that's interesting because he's really playing with his tweets and, how he acts in public and the speeches he makes. But there is justice. He doesn't really, in my opinion, make any sense. He doesn't make sense. He's confusing. He doesn't identify a point of his speeches are all over the place. And there is justice waiting in the wings. And justice will turn on him. There's a lot of Republicans that are leaving the fold. So justice is on our side. Because justice would not be for his nonsense, the stuff that he's doing. After he goes through, going through the month, what will it be his final action? Eight of Wands, a lot of changes again. This is kind of a good card to have here as far as I'm concerned. The cards may start falling. His house of cards may start falling. A lot of things may come at him. Right now, he's, in every aspect of his political life and personal life, there are problems. And that may all be coming to light, or there may be so many things coming at him that he may have some difficulties. And then, the outcome of that, now this was upside down again. It was the High Priestess, and that's hidden knowledge. So this could be a event that happens that no one is expecting, that comes out of the next month. Maybe in October or the beginning of October, something major is going to happen that was hidden, was behind the scenes, that then will come out. And this is a spiritual card. It's also an intuitive card. So I don't see him as being either of those types, either of those kind of people. So I think something is going to come out by the end of the month. It's going to be very dramatic. That's been hidden, and then it's going to come out. And this will be caused by all this action here. So that's my reading. But we have the clarifiers. So let's get into that. Let's see if we can find out a little bit more. This is the mini Da Vinci deck. I was watching a Da Vinci YouTube program. It was fascinating. They say he's only been credited with maybe 25 paintings. They say he probably did more. He was he didn't finish things. He didn't finish a lot of stuff, and he labored over his work. Well, but he did a lot of things. You know, he had amazing journals, art journals. Okay, so 8 of coins, he's fine-tuning. Let's look at this King of coins. You know, this is what I mentioned. Maybe he feels like I think he's very happy with this current situation. I think he feels that he is the king. He's not the president, he's the king. And things are going very well with him. So let's just see. We have the two of swords. There's the decisions he has to make. That is a difficult decision. He's not sure which way to go. There is the Queen of Pentacles, another queen. I don't know who that could be. The kings and queens are usually women who are influencing him. There's another two of Pentacles. So we have here, he's making choices. There's choices to be made intellectually and practical choices to be made. He's probably conferring with some Queen of Pentacles that's in his orbit. Probably someone in the White House. He is conferring with them, whoever that may be. But he's conferring with them. These are early decisions. These are low numbers. So there's decisions to be made, intellectual decisions, practical decisions to be made, and he's getting the help of a woman. And I think he feels like it's going pretty well. He thinks he's handling it pretty well. So this is the beginning of a cycle, and he feels pretty confident about it. The Three of Wands are his hidden influences, and I mentioned that this is possibly something overseas. We have the Four of Pentacles, and that's known as the miserly card. It's also a practical, stable, practical card. We got the 3 and the 4 here. We have the Empress, which is interesting. Yeah, Empresses, I have done many readings on Trump, and I always think of Russia as the Empress. So I do think that this is Russia getting involved, providing stability for him, providing advice about money and what he should do. And then we have another queen, the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, now he's the King of Cups, and I do see that as Melania. He probably confers with the Empress, the Russia, they're giving him advice about monetary issues, holding firm, being stable, holding steady. And his wife is probably maybe giving advice as well. So these are his behind the scenes, what's going on behind the scenes for him. The Queen of Swords, this is an obstacle. And I mentioned that it's perhaps Kamala Harris. Let's see what we can come up with. We have the Moon. The Moon is a great card. It's a very female energy, very intuitive energy, hidden energy. And then we have another queen, the Queen of Wands. We have the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is a passionate queen. It's the Queen of Fire coming through. And then we have the Five of Wands, which is sort of infighting to some extent. Five of Wands. Fives are changes. So what do we have here? If we think this is, if I think this is Kamala Harris, how is this going to go down? Well, I think that she has an agenda that we are not maybe aware of at this time, that she is working on, and she'll come through when she does do the attacks. It'll be very sharp and fast and certain. So the Queen of Fire is someone who is passionate and fiery and acts quickly. but acts with knowledge, with hidden knowledge. And what does this lead to? It leads to infighting. There'll be infighting. I don't think it'll be infighting with Kamala Harris, but infighting with maybe his supporters. She's going to give them a run for his money, I do believe. The community is the American people, the public. And there's justice here, which is a wonderful card to have. So people are looking for justice. People are not looking necessarily for revenge kind of justice, but just fairness. Fairness. And let's see how that breaks down. The Four of Wands, that's somewhat of a celebration. Again, wands are fiery, a fiery nature. So people are going to be coming together. Passionate people are going to be coming together, fighting for justice. The Lovers, that's a wonderful card to have. That's working with other people, being passionate, and duality, and forces coming together. So here we have forces coming together, a celebration, justice, and then finally the Knight of Pentacles. I always see this card, if you watch my channel, of shedding light. So the community, which is the American people, they're going to be coming together. There'll be more cohesiveness. There'll be more celebrations, and they'll be shedding light on the situation. There'll be a coming together. So I don't think Trump is very derisive. He tries to separate people, but I think he's going to be unsuccessful, at least with the public. Okay, so then there's towards the end of the month, we'll have all this activity coming at us, or coming at him. Let's see what kind of activity that'll be. We have the Knight of Chalices, Knight of Cups. That's a loving knight. It's coming forward. Love, support, which is good. We have the World card. That's interesting. The World card is one of the best cards in the deck. And it could be the world is watching. There's a lot of changes, and maybe from that changes will generate love and hope. And then we have the Five of Swords, and that's more fighting. So there's going to be, I think there's going to be the two sides. There's going to be a lot of things happening on both sides. His side, the Republican side, Trump's side, and then the other side, the community. There'll be a lot of back and forth. But in the end, it looks like there's a lot of positive energy working through this situation. And it looks like the King of Cups, someone may come through as a mediator. I'm thinking there may be some personage that will be coming through all this drama that's going to happen. There'll be a mediator of some kind coming through. I always see Romney as a mediator, but he's always he's very tempered in what he does, and there's probably a reason for that. It's probably his life's being threatened. Let's be frank. But there's also great hope with the world, and there's like an ending of a cycle. But there shows some change, some conflict there as well. So that's an interesting. The end of the month is going to be very interesting. There's going to be a lot of things happening. And final outcome is the High Priestess, which is hidden knowledge, intuition, and not obvious what's going to happen here. But let's see if we get a little more from it. Interesting. There's a Hermit. These are two similar cards. There's sort of searching for knowledge within. And then we have the Magician. Whoa, this is getting these. If you notice these, if you know the tarot, these are 3 major arcanas. 4 major arcanas. What? Well, I don't know what this means, but to pull 4 major arcanas, the outcome of September is very, very dramatic. Hidden knowledge is coming to the fore. There's a huge transformation taking place, and then movement forward. So it would seem to me, according to the cards, I'm just reading the cards here, something very dramatic is going to happen at the end of September. Something that was hidden is going to become obvious. There's going to be, because of that, there's going to be dramatic change with the Magician. And then that will generate is movement forward, is tremendous movement. I know this could be all kinds of movement. You never know what that is. So there's a dramatic change by the end of the month, according to the cards. I don't know what to tell you, but that's what the cards say. Okay, so interesting. Trump is feeling pretty good right now. The only obstacle he sees, or the only obstacle he's going to have, from what we can gather, is this Queen of Swords who identifies as Kamala Harris. The community is not for him. The community is still wants justice, and I don't feel that that's on his side, because he's not into justice. There's going to be a lot of changes happening towards the end of the month, and then these dramatic changes where the High Priestess and the Hermit come forward with some hidden knowledge. Some truths will be revealed. It will be a major subsequent to that will be a major change. That's the Magician. That is a huge change when you get the Magician. And then moving forward dramatically again with the Chariot card. These are 4 major arcana. It's huge. Okay, I'm done for now. Sorry I was late. Interesting reading, and it was fun doing it, and have a great day.